You are live. Goldline Cards back here with the fresh gear and for my buddies this week for Around the Hobby. Got my pink poof pen back. We've got Sean, Mr. knows more about Major League Baseball than anybody I know. We got Nick, Pantera, lives in Orlando, hangs out with Mickey Mouse all the time, and is best friends with Lewis Roberts. So that's cool. BRANDT has got to be the only soccer fan that I know and the world's biggest Matisse Thybulle guy. Every day on Twitter, Matisse Thybulle. You're like, Matisse Thybulle's having the game of his life. I checked the box score. It's like 4 points and 8 rebounds. So
his name's fun to say.
Guy. And my absolute buddy, Mr. Gotta wear the same shoes every Saturday, take a picture of him and send him to me, Tyler Liddy, with his Irish stuff in the background. Fellas, how we doing today? We doing all right?
Doing good.
Doing great.
Go Irish, by the way.
Yes, sir.
This is how it's going to go. I got 4, maybe 5 questions, depending on time. Everybody's going to get 30 seconds-ish, and if you go over, you are getting muted this week. I do have mute control buttons. I just happened to write down Sean, Nick, BRANDT, and Tyler, so we're going to start with Sean. So, Sean, 3 different aspects to this question. It's a buy or sell because these are price points that I looked up today. Are you buying or selling at the current PSA 10 prices? Juan Soto US 300 at $350, Josh Allen Prism at $680, and the Zion Prism at $580. 30 seconds starts now.
Definitely not Zion. Zion's not built necessarily like Odom was, but definitely not Zion. And then that is really hard. You said Soto versus Allen. I would have to go with Soto.
Soto at $350.
Yeah, with Soto at this point being as young as he is, the cornerstone of a franchise that knows when to move on and off people properly, I'd go with Soto. I love Allen. I'm actually a Bills fan, but it's Soto at this point with his youth and the price of that card.
It was my fault. I didn't have my finger on the mute, but you were 2 seconds over. Excellent answers there. Excellent answers. See, I was thinking with Zion, he was like $900 a couple months ago. I thought you might go that route. So Nick, are you taking? What are your thoughts on Juan Soto at $350, Josh Allen at $680, and Zion at $580? 30 seconds starts now.
100% selling Josh Allen. I think he's probably at the peak of his place in the hobby right now. I sell. Juan Soto, so underrated. Buy as much as you can if the price is right. I would never sell his rookie cards right now. And Zion, actually, I'm going to say hold. The market right now is so crazy, and there's so many young fans that are now in the hobby, and I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon, and they're fixated on this guy, and I want you to mute me.
Boom, muted. Nick was just like, Zion. Oh, my God, he's so great. Let's talk about all the fixation. You know what? LaMelo Ball costs more than Zion. It makes no sense at all. All right, BRANDT. It seems like we've got some consensus here. It's Juan Soto at $350, Josh Allen at $680, and Zion at $580. What are your thoughts?
I agree that Josh Allen probably can't really go up much more unless he can progress any farther or do anything really crazy. Soto is a big buy because as young as he is, he's already won a championship. I mean, not much you can really say. I mean, and then Zion, I agree. I mean, hold because I have a couple good Zions, and I should have sold right away. I didn't, and now the prices are down like crazy. The new product came out, and now it just tanked. I'd hold him.
You brought up that new product, and like we just talked about, LaMelo is like ×4.
Am I still muted?
No, you're not muted. I unmute.
We're in a different universe now, man. Like the hobby from when Zion came out to this mellow, we're in a different universe.
All right, Tyler. Juan Soto at $350, Josh Allen at $680, or Zion at $580. 30 seconds now.
All right. Yeah, I'd had to say Juan Soto is an absolute buy. I mean, the kid is an absolute stud. He's already got World Series experience, and he's young and proven that the big stage isn't too much for him. Josh Allen, I'm like the rest of the guys selling. I mean, this seems like the peak he's going to be. on top of the fact that his whole career, he probably has to go through Patrick Mahomes to ever get to a Super Bowl. And then Zion, I think I got to go hold. I don't know if even as a Duke fan, I don't know if I love his long term because of his size and how he plays, but mute me, go for it.
Muted.
By the way, I just want to share, I'm not selling Josh Allen here. I just wasn't buying Josh Allen, or the Bills Mafia would probably come in and throw me through my own table that I'm sitting at right now. So I'm only saying I would buy Soto, not sell out.
680. Unbelievable. I bought a Soto US 300 for $200 back in like August and thought I overpaid. Okay, question 2. We will start off with BRANDT, the man. So pay attention, BRANDT. Who are you taking here, BRANDT? Would you rather have Bryce Harper or Cody Bellinger?
Bellinger for cards, Harper for my team. I think Bellinger, being in LA, probably a higher chance of winning more World Series. That team stacked. His cards, I think, could really only go up. But I personally just like Harper more, probably a little biased. But hoping he starts to play like he earns that $330 million. But I'd rather have Harper on my team.
Trae Young or Ja Morant? Took too long. Baker Mayfield or Josh Allen?
Baker.
There it is. Tyler, you're up. Bryce Harper or Cody Bellinger? You're on mute. Shit, let me get you off mute. Hey, we got some learning bumps.
Minus 5 points.
Minus 5 for me. Dang it.
All right, yeah, but
Go ahead.
Oh, you're all good. For cards, I'd say, I'd rather have Bellinger. I mean, I think the price is really low considering he's on a team that has a chance to win a couple World Series coming here and, one good series and he wins a World Series MVP, and that can do a lot to his price.
Trae Young or Ja Morant?
I actually lean Trae Young, both for cards and in actual, like, on my team. I kind of looked into it earlier, and I think Trae averages more in every single category except for steals per game.
Wow. You did research.
I was on it today.
Baker Mayfield or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. Like, if they're on my team, Josh Allen. I just think Baker hasn't proven that he can do it on his own. Without Chubb and Hunt, what does he really do this year? I don't know.
All right, Sean, move on to you. Who you taking, Bryce Harper or Cody Bellinger?
Bellinger for both cards and in real life. His value with cards to me is undervalued. It's unbelievable what he's been able to accomplish without any drama. Harper's had obviously his own fair share of drama on multiple levels, but we only have a certain amount of time here, so I'm not going to share all that. So yeah, and then as a player, man, yeah, I mean, Hall of Famer, World Series champion already, probably a Hall of Famer at this point if he makes another couple, which at this point with their pitching staff and lineup, they're probably going to be there every year for the next 4 or 5 years. Easily Bellinger on both.
Trae Young or Ja Morant?
Morant. To the point, made earlier about, Young at this point, he's amazing and does fill up the stat sheet, but he also has really a couple extra pieces around him that I just don't think even Morant has yet. The fact Morant is, more like Magic at first, distribute the ball, then more so is willing to take shots when he needs to. I think if Morant gets another piece or two around him, it's Morant easily. And then on the card side, same idea. I just think Morant at this point is about the same value as Trae on the card side. But when he gets another player or two, I mean, they've been doing nothing but selling for some reason. When they actually go get some picks and some players, I definitely think that it's Ja.
And Baker or Josh Allen? Because I'm just letting everybody go as long as they want right now because everybody's like a man.
This question is a little more detailed.
Yeah, this is a little bit I'm an Allentown fan. I totally missed on him for the first 2 years. I thought that we totally made a major mistake and that he was a project that would never be fixed. The fact that he's become a franchise quarterback like this, and I think a few of you guys mentioned it earlier, without necessarily the same weapons that Baker, moneymaker supposedly has, is unbelievable to me. I mean, if Allen, I think, had the same talent, offensive line, wideouts, and running backs that Baker did, I think we'd be playing for the Super Bowl 2 nights ago. I really do. I believe that. Allen probably is near his ceiling, but I think Baker's near his ceiling as well. So where does the Browns have to go from here? I mean, first round playoff loss every year. Allen, to me, one or two more weapons, a running back, and another couple linemen. We're Super Bowl or bust, hopefully, for the next 4 or 5 years as a Bills fan.
All right, Nick, let us have it. Harper or Cody?
All right off the bat, if you go with Cards, in my opinion, the difference is negligible. I believe they're both in the same boat, both undervalued. I know Harper has been voted the most overrated player in the league by his peers 2 years.
Nick just got 5 points.
But I don't understand that completely, because I think people just look at the contract he has and what he's been able to win. He walked in 2019 and the team wins a World Series without him. They hold that against him. And there has been some drama. His StatCast tracks are off the charts. If you look at his statistics, there's so much red in there. There's more red than the red wedding. Like it's phenomenal. He's an elite hitter. That being said, he's 28. Bellinger's 25. Bellinger's a World Series champion. Bellinger won Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, and MVP all in the same season 2 seasons ago. He's a stud, and I know Harper won an MVP. I'm taking Bellinger on my team. If you gave me Harper, I wouldn't cry about it. I wish the White Sox would have found a way to get him out of Philly and brought him over there, because they could sure use him. But Reinsdorf's the cheapest owner in baseball, except when it comes to making stupid decisions. But anyway, yeah, okay, we can go on to the next one. I'm taking Bellinger.
All right, Trey Young or John Morant?
I'm taking John Morant for the same kind of reason Sean mentioned in the football. I think Trey Young is who he is at this point, which is very good. But I think John Morant has just scratched the surface of who he's going to be. If he can stay healthy and be the player that I think we all know he can be, he's going to be outstanding on the court for years and years to come. His game's only going to get better, and the value of his cards is only going to continue to rise. And he's definitely the one I would take out of those two.
And Baker and Josh Allen.
This to me is not really that close. I'm taking Josh Allen. And I think what it comes down to more than anything is up here. I think Josh Allen is mentally, I don't know if tougher is the word, but I think he's got it together mentally for the mental side of the game. And I think Baker is one little miscue away from complete meltdown every game he's in. So I don't see that with Josh. Josh showed a lot to me this year. And the ability that he has to make plays outside of his arm is unbelievable. And I'm not saying Baker can't do that, but Josh brings another dimension to the game at another level than Baker does. So that, coupled with the fact that I think Josh has got it all up here, I'd go with Josh Allen.
Yeah, poise goes a long way. So Abdul made the comment. Stephon Diggs, you got one of the best wide receivers in the league right there. And Sean, you said, the Browns have more talent, but the Bills have Diggs. And to me, with Cody Bellinger and Bryce Harper, it comes back to likability. A lot of people don't like Bryce Harper. They almost compare it to LeBron in the decision. Like, Cleveland lit his jersey on fire. I mean, I live in Ohio, and we hated LeBron James when he left for Miami. I know a lot of Washington people have that animosity for Bryce Harper just for leaving for the Phillies. So to me, it's Cody Bellinger's likable. And that's
it's
it.
Something else.
Josh Allen's got the poise. And what's there not to like about John Morant? Comes from a small school, doesn't talk, doesn't run his mouth, isn't a dirty player, got that beautiful little boyish smile, just goes out, does his thing, drops it on you, then lets you know that he drops it on you. So, yeah.
Hey, if I could go back real quick, Harper has, unfortunately, he's always going to be tied to Mike Trout. Chris, I think you and I talked about this, how we thought it was criminal how low Harper's cards are valued because he's tied to Mike Trout, and Mike Trout is looked at already as the greatest baseball player of all time. And it's always going to be there that Mike Trout might not even, make it to a World Series and win a World Series, or, you know what I mean, from this point. But it doesn't matter. Harper's always going to be in his shadow, and people are going to say he plays for the money.
Absolutely. And we're going back to the 30 seconds now, because that just took like 10 minutes up.
Yeah, that was a long category.
There's a pretty big game that was played this weekend, and I'm not sure anybody had Tampa Bay by 67 but still couldn't catch the over. But let's talk about Brady because he just got his sixth ring or his seventh ring?
Seven.
His seventh ring. So including his wedding ring, he only has 2 fingers left. So let's talk about him. Does the championship success make him the greatest? Does his longevity make him the greatest? Does something else make him the greatest? Or is someone else the greatest? Like Joe Montana, Peyton Manning might be smarter. John Elway might have a better arm. Michael Vick, no, get Michael Vick and his legs out of here. Get Steve Young. What makes Tom Brady the GOAT? Tyler, go ahead.
Is this a free for all?
No, Tyler, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
You're all good. I would say
30
it's a
seconds.
combination of everything. I mean, I think obviously Brady's not the most talented quarterback that there's ever been. You see Mahomes play, see Rodgers play. Those guys have more arm talent. But he might be the greatest winner there's ever been.
Crazy.
I think Bruce Arians said it well that he took a group of super talented guys that didn't know how to win and taught them how to win in a 1-year span.
That's perfect.
I think that sums it up.
All right, Sean, you're up. 30 seconds starts. I'll give you 2 extra seconds. Go.
That's pretty simple. His career could actually be broken down into quarters, and he's still the best quarterback in every quarter. I mean, like his first 5 years, what he did in his first 5 years is the best anyone's done, including Marino and including Montana. His second 5 years are still as good as what Mahomes is, claiming to not claiming, but has done. And even these last even 10 years, the second half act, if you will, is just unbelievable. He's better than everybody when you split his career into thirds.
Just snuck it in there. That's such a great point right there. Brant, why don't you go ahead and go, and then we'll have Nick bring us home on this one.
I think it has a lot to do with longevity and the ability to win. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I forget the exact percentage, he's been in at least 25% of every Super Bowl that's ever even occurred. That's just crazy to think about. He's feel like every other year you turn the game on, man's in the Super Bowl. I think coaching, as far as I think Belichick's sitting at home wow, he really I think there's a lot of this whole I'm really happy for him. The only thing that disgusts me is that the greatest quarterback of all time is from Michigan. That's kind of sad because
Nick, bring us on home, buddy. 30 seconds.
I mean, it pains me to say this as a Miami Dolphins fan who hates Tom Brady with a passion, but he's the greatest of all time. There's no question about it. I'm not going to go into other sports, but in football, he's the greatest. Look what he did this postseason. He went through Breeze, Rodgers, and Mahomes with a team that he had never played football with before this year, except for Gronk. Winners win. Tom Brady's a winner. Doesn't matter who's around him. He finds a way to win. The guy's been in 10 Super Bowls. He's won 7. It's outrageous. It's unbelievable.
I'm way too slow on this mute button, man. I start giving you a timer. You start looking and talking faster. Then I got to find the little microphone. Yeah, you guys make great points. Being a Broncos fan, of course, Elway and Manning. I disliked Brady because he always beat us. Brady's only team that he has a losing record against is the Denver Broncos. So 2 more questions here. Who is the greatest player to never win a championship in any sport? Brant, you're up.
Oh gosh, I'll just go Allen Iverson. I didn't have time to think about this. Probably just my personal favorite. AI. Love him. Heck, you can go with more Sixers. Charles Barkley. There's a couple. I would say AI because I think he really changed the game, and he was so exciting to watch. I was glad I was able to watch some of him. I was pretty young, but I'd have to go with AI. Maybe not the greatest, but personal.
Tyler, who are you going with? Greatest player to never win a championship, any sport?
I missed thinking about this one too. I like the Allen Iverson answer. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but Marino never won, and I think he's got to be up there. So I'll go with that. I'll stick with Dan Marino.
Dan Marino. Okay, Sean.
Brilliant minds think alike. I'm going with Marino. I thought about this one. I saw that question. It's unbelievable that he made it there his rookie season and never made it back. The records, again, if the modern NFL was played back in the 80s and 90s, Marino would still hold every record, in my opinion. And I'm a Bills fan, so saying that made me just throw up a little bit in the back of my throat. But it is true. His quick release, the fact how accurate he was with not a single – I mean, can you guys name any Hall of Fame wideouts he had? Running backs? Linemen? No, I have none. It's Marino. It's not even close. It's unbelievable that he didn't get a ring. It's sad. He ran into the NFC just like my Bills did for, 13 straight years.
Bam! Muted without even any notice. All right. Finally, I got one. All right, Nick. You're up. Greatest, not even just football, any sport to win.
Well,
or not win.
It's already been said. It's Dan Marino. He played on a Dolphins team that was ran very poorly. They had a terrible defense. He had no weapons around him besides the Marks brothers, who were tremendous wide receivers for him. Then they were gone. And then he played in the time with Montana, Kelly, Elway, other really good quarterbacks, and he couldn't get past the Buffalo Bills. When they were finally good enough, the Bills were there 4 years in a row. They made it to the Super Bowl and lost. Sorry, Sean. But it's Marino, hands down. He should have won a Super Bowl. He should have won 2 or 3. His stats are mind-boggling, and I hate it as a Dolphins fan that he didn't get one.
Mike Trout, and Mike Trout. We even talked about him earlier, and it's not even through his career yet. His career's not even over, and he's already considered one of the greatest to ever play of all time, like some people say he is, and he's never even going to sniff a World Series. He might not even sniff the playoffs. So
Griffey? If Griffey's not in there, then Mike Trout. Come on.
There you go. You know what? And I should know Griffey because I'm a Reds fan. I used to have the Griffey like cleats growing up and everything. So perfect. We'll go one more question before we'll jump off here because we're at 21 minutes. Are you looking forward to Top Series 1 coming out? And if you are, who are you hoping to pull and why? We'll go Nick first because I know you don't really like this product.
I mean, I'm just pulling back on my consumption this year. There's nobody that really gets me excited as I was for La Pantera. Christian Patchy, maybe, get some of his cards. I'm going to open some. It's because I'm an addict. But, otherwise, I'm not really that excited about it, to be honest with you.
Tyler, go ahead, buddy.
I think I'm in the same boat there. I mean, I don't think that this year's class is as exciting as the previous year. And I do mostly collect football, but I've been trying to grow the baseball and basketball collection. So I'm sure I'll pick up some singles here and there and might even open, if I'm lucky to find some, probably open some or send them out to you guys or whatever.
Tyler Stevenson, I'm your guy. Brant, Sean. Sorry, Sean, you're going to be next. We're going to finish up with Brant.
Sure, absolutely.
Sean, you're Mr. Baseball.
Yeah, no, I'm not really that much looking forward to it. I pulled back on basically trying to even get any, just basically chasing, if you will. What is a proverbial chase to the end. I pulled back on that, more so going after individuals. There is no one that's really standout-ish. It's kind of an odd year. I agree with Nick. I mean, everybody on here, I think we've kind of understood that, Topps itself, even last year, was kind of disappointing in my opinion. In a way, the website itself should probably be regulated more. The bot should be taken care of. That's a whole other subject. We could spend 23 and a half minutes speaking about that, right? And I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done chasing that way. I'm not doing it. I'd rather let other people chase. So I'm out. I'm an out on this one.
Brant, Mr. Soccer, Mr. Thibault. Not even sure if you collect baseball except for to sell them to me. Go ahead. You got 30 seconds.
What a pipeline.
I'm not super excited for it, but if I see it, I'll open it. But I am happy that Alec Bohm now finally has an RC card. That's probably someone that I'll be going after. I hate how he has the rookie cup on his too, and it's floating above through his waist. It kind of looks stupid, but if I do open some and find some though, I think Pache is a good hold. I think Adele, just trying to throw Adele a couple different names. There's a couple different guys, but the design is pretty awful. But I'll still be opening some because, like he said, addict.
Awesome. My thoughts are I'm going to collect Tyler Stevenson because that's my guy from the Reds. I don't like the layout of it. If I see a shelf of it, I'm probably going to clear it out, and I'm not going to flip it. I'm going to put it on the shelf behind me because my daughter and I have a Sunday show where we open up cards. And I know we've talked about this before. is you can go to Target for 6 months and not find anything. So you can get 6 months worth of cards in one fell swoop. So if you're not clearing it out, I mean, if you're flipping, that's one thing. But if you're putting it on a shelf for a rainy day, I mean, I open a blaster every single Sunday with my daughter. If I don't have something, I'm calling Nick or Tyler up and seeing, hey, man, can I buy a box off you or something? But
I got you.
one thing I do want to mention before I go ahead and declare a winner is Eric Hecker, I think it's Hesher. He does the Rack of the Day 365, and tomorrow is my day. And I'm giving away a blaster of Series 1 to somebody as the Rack of the Day. He'll explain what's behind the significance of tomorrow and why I chose tomorrow. I'm not going to get into that on here, but I did want to mention that since we're talking about Series 1. And I'm going to go ahead and declare Sean the winner tonight with the absolute fire comments, the absolute just blow me away with the knowledge that you have that I don't have. So I'm going to ramble on for 8 more seconds so I have a good solid number to give you your minute with. So right about now, I'm going to give you a minute. Go. Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, pro baseball. I've played it my entire life with Nick my entire life. So thank you for joining me here, Nick. And thank you, Eric, for having us on, man. It's just unbelievable. But I hope pro baseball can get its act together. It's sad to me to watch the game itself lose, so many minority players from the United States. I mean, I know that the South American players, the Dominican players, and Latin American players have filled up the game, but it's weird for me to watch a sport I grew up with, loving. Ken Griffey Jr., Frank Thomas, is a Blue Jay, Juan Guzman, and some other mixed, whether they be black, Dominican or whatever, missing from the game now. The game itself now too this year, getting in between the weirdness between the players union and stuff, but deciding to put the runner at second base or not or whatever. How about we just have a universal DH and we use Ken Griffey Jr. to be the ambassador that he's supposed to be now to actually bring back, the youth program that is baseball. So that's it. I just wish baseball itself would get its act together.
Awesome stuff.
Using players like you said, if I just go over a little bit, because I'm going to do what I do on hard interruption, and I'm going to keep going a little bit. Like, how does Mike Trout not in every ad? You brought it up. Like, how is Mike Trout not in more TV ads? How is Acuna and Soto and just any of these amazing young stubs not all over the media? To me, it's an embarrassment to the sport. The sport itself has a long ways to go to catching up with the NBA and the NFL at marketing its players, and I pray to God it does because it's my favorite sport, and I really appreciate you having me on. But it's baseball that brought me here to even being on with you guys today. And the other sports are there as well. But baseball just really needs to really look itself in the mirror, probably let go of Rob Manfred, have a CEO of the sport, someone that actually gives a crap about the bottom dollar other than just the owners, but the players as well, and start marketing itself the way it deserves to be, right along with soccer, which I know we have a huge soccer fan on here.
Let's just put Trevor Bauer in charge of marketing, because for the offseason, the first 2 months, it was fun. Then it was annoying. But I picked my team video. It gave me the chills. I really liked it. And somebody tell me why Drew Lock is on the cover of the playbook. I know Nick was at Target pictures. I'm like, seriously, Lock? What's going on? But, we had such a great time tonight. Thank you for watching. This is Around the Hobby. We'll come at you we'll try to be here every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I'd sincerely like to thank my guests tonight, BRANDT, Tyler, Sean, and Nick, for being here today. I had so much fun with you guys. I hope anybody watching live, you had a good time. If you watch us later, we appreciate you watching. Anybody have any parting words?
Hey, be kind out there. Hey, life's too short. Be kind.
Be good to yourselves.
I was going to say what he was saying about the marketing, though. I think they're doing a good start with this year with Tatis on the cover of the show and Juan Soto as the flagship on Series 1, on the boxes and everything. So could be the start of something.
I think Sean means, though, they got to be everywhere.
Well, yeah, of course.
Kids everywhere.
You got to start
not just on your products. They got to be everywhere.
Tyler, start arguing. This is good.
Bonus.
No.
All right. Be good to yourselves and each other. We're out. Thank you.
Peace, Sean. Thank you so much.
There you guys.